afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rana Leshgary, and I have the honor of welcoming you here today. First off, I want to say hi, Westy. Thank you all for being here today for the unveiling of the Women, Life, Freedom mural in downtown Phoenix. When Vice Mayor Ansari first came up with the idea to commission a mural in support of the freedom movement in Iran, a mural created exclusively by Iranian American artists, we were all so inspired. Especially where Carly Logan, the owner of Carly's Bistro, offered this amazing space to us. Thank you to Carly. For those of us in the Iranian diaspora community, we wait obsessively every day for those grainy home videos to leak out of Iran, showing the progress of the protests and sadly the brutality of the regime's response. Without access to free press or the internet, those videos are often our only source of information, shared quickly among cousins, friends, colleagues, and community members, and then to social media and the news. Watching these videos every day, we are simultaneously heartbroken and hopeful, but filled with pride as we watch Iranians of every age, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and religion demand freedom and equality. But when it came time to fundraising, a worried voice in my head thought, outside of us Iranian Americans, who else cares about what's going on in Iran, about the women-led freedom movement in this faraway country in the middle of nowhere? Well, you guys showed us that you care. Thank you so much. So I have a series of thank yous to the people who made this mural possible. Thank you to our primary sponsor, Joe Barba and Kim Ryder at Thrive, whose generous donation made it possible to bring out our lead artist, Farnaz Zabetian, a renowned muralist from San Francisco whose art has become an iconic symbol for this movement. Thank you to our very own Chris Mackey from Community Economic Development, who has always supported the role of art in the economic development of downtown Phoenix. Thank you to the downtown Phoenix businesses who showed us their support with a generous donation from Devaney Marley and her team at Downtown Phoenix, Inc. Their donations made it possible to engage two incredibly talented local Iranian American artists, Layla Parnian and Farnaz Jan, to collaborate on this mural. Thank you to Aiden Madrigal and the Roosevelt Road Community Development Corps for being our nonprofit partner in this project. To our local attorneys, Ed Bull, Wendy Riddell, and my personal favorite, Jason Morris, for their generous donations. To our parents, mine, Kamir and Roya, and Vice Mayor Ansari's Fariba Jan and Bijan Jan, who not only encouraged us to see this idea through, but supported our efforts every step of the way. And along with countless other friends, family, community members. A big final thank you to our team, led by Vice Mayor Ansari's Chief of Staff, Maria Lopez. Woo! And Abby Michael, our Client Relations Manager at Arizona Municipal Strategies. You guys make miracles happen every day. So thank you all for making today happen and for making this mural come to life. With that, I am honored to turn it over to the leader of our very own women-led movement in the city of Phoenix, Mayor Kate Gallego.
The city of Phoenix made history in January when we elect Yasmin Ansari as our vice mayor. Vice Mayor Ansari is the first Iranian American to serve in this position in the city of Phoenix, And her election as vice mayor puts Phoenix in really rare company with Iranian American leadership among all American cities. She is not taking a moment to rest. She is using that new position to make sure she is a strong voice for women all over the world, including Iranian women. And today we're here to make sure we mark and raise awareness about what is happening to these brave women. So I want to thank you. You could have been celebrating, but you have chosen to use your new role to be such an important voice. And today, I think the entire city is watching and will have much greater awareness. So thank you for putting us on the world stage for an important and positive recognition. I want to thank the many individuals who have made today possible, including Carla Logan. When we celebrated 100 years of women's suffrage in Phoenix, the Phoenix Women's Commission picked 31 leaders to celebrate who had made an important contribution, and she was one of the women who the Women's Commission felt was most deserving of recognition for her role in community development, arts, and our culinary scene. And she also continues to use her voice to support a variety of important causes, including African American history, women's rights, and so much more. So Carla, thank you for making today possible. We have a citywide recognition, and I will just read a few of the more key parts. For the past 6 months, brave women and girls have made their voices heard in the streets of Iran, continuously protesting the brutal treatment by Islamic Republic forces. It's estimated more than 18,000 people have been imprisoned and are at risk of execution. To shed light on this issue, show respect and support for the brave men and women who are risking their lives, and to recognize the power of women all across the world, I'm happy to celebrate the completion of this mural. Our city looks forward to it inspiring everyone who sees it for years to come. So in accordance with the law of the state of Arizona and City of Phoenix, we proclaim a celebration of the Women, Life, and Freedom mural unveiling. And with that, I want to ask the Vice Mayor to come forward along with the arts team. And are we ready? We're going to need everyone's help for a countdown from 10. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, please welcome Vice Mayor Ansari for remarks.
Thank you so much to Mayor Gallego. If we can please give her another round of applause for being here today. And I also want to give another round of applause to the artists here today. Leila Parnian and Farnaz are two of the local artists who were key in this project, along with Farnaz Zabetian, who's the lead artist based out of San Francisco. Again, I want to start off by, thank you. Please give them, they worked on this all of last week. It took a lot of work. So I want to start off by thanking some of the elected officials and organizations that have joined us here today. Again, our phenomenal mayor, Kate Gallego. We have Arizona State House of Representative, State Representative Jennifer Longden, if you could please, so happy that she's here. And I believe we have former Representative Sarah Ligori here. I also want to thank the Office of Senator Mark Kelly for being here. And thank you so much to city departments and nonprofits who work extremely hard to spotlight and serve our refugee and immigrant communities year-round. The City of Phoenix, we have the Office of Arts and Culture and the Office of Community and Economic Development. We also have here today the International Rescue Committee, the Arizona Persian Cultural Center, the Welcome to America Project, Operation Eagle Foundation, and more. I'm Phoenix Vice Mayor Yasemin Ansari, and it's been my honor to serve District 7 for the past 2 years. I'm also incredibly proud to be the first and only Iranian American elected to public office in the state of Arizona, and one of few across the country. Thank you. 143 days ago, 22-year-old Mahsa Jina Amini was visiting her family in Iran's capital city of Tehran when she was brutally murdered by the Islamic Republic's morality police for allegedly breaching the strict dress code for women. Her death has led thousands of Iranian women, girls, and allies to unify in protests across Iran, demanding an end to a barbaric regime that has held the country hostage for more than 43 years. The Washington Post has called these protests the longest major demonstration against Iran's cleric-led security state. And the biggest difference between this demonstration and others is that it has been women-led. Like the women depicted in today's mural, mothers, wives, and grandmothers have been taking to the streets. They are cutting their hair, setting their headscarves on fire. They are fearlessly kissing and embracing their lovers in public. And young school-age girls are removing their mandatory head coverings and chanting, "Death to the dictator." These actions are a radical rejection of the gendered violence that has characterized the Islamic Republic's regime. But this rejection has come at far too high a cost. Underscoring the brutality of the regime has felt all too comfortable, dolling out over the last 4 decades. More than 18,000 Iranians have been imprisoned as the regime has violently cracked down on protesters. They've been sent to psychological re-education centers, beaten, tortured, raped. Hundreds more have been killed since the protests began, including more than 60 children. These murdered and imprisoned Iranians include a rapper, a doctor, a karate champion, a barber, an actor, sons, grandparents, parents. They represent some of the country's brightest minds, and the government has mercilessly executed them in its attempt to crush this months-long uprising. But despite these strong-arm intimidation tactics, Iranians continue to call attention to the struggle. Even the movement slogan, which you see right here, Zan Zendegi Azadi, it translates to women, life, freedom, is a proclamation of opposition to an oppressive regime that is anti-women, anti-LGBTQ, anti-minority, anti-democratic, anti-freedom. And it's exactly this slogan that's inspired this mural today. So as I mentioned, this gorgeous design was led by San Francisco-based artist Farnaz Zabitian, and she's been harnessing the power of art to call attention to this crisis all across the United States. It depicts Mahsa Amini in traditional Kurdish attire because she was from the Kurdistan region of Iran. And on the top left of the mural, the woman shown cutting her hair is named Nasibe Shamsai, and she's a feminist and former political prisoner who now lives in Turkey. Along Mahsa's hair, we can see images of protesters. One is holding a pride flag, which represents the thousands of queer individuals who have been executed throughout the Islamic Republic's regime as they've consolidated power and enacted gendered violence across the country. This mural highlights the power in unifying voices and demonstrates that Iranians are risking literally everything for the world to understand that the violence of their government goes beyond clothing choices and religious expression. So I want them to know that we here in Phoenix hear them and we see them. And in the last few months, I think I have learned how much representation matters. The number of messages that I receive from not only Iranians here, but people in Iran who I've literally never met, asking for any sort of support possible has been overwhelming. And as many immigrants and their children know, there is a specific type of heartbreak seeing your people, your family, your loved ones suffer back home. Iran is a beautiful country made up of beautiful, diverse people. My mom fled Iran during the wake of the 1979 revolution that brought about this dictatorship, and I personally have not been able to visit Iran due to my involvement in American politics. but I grew up with a deep-rooted love for the culture, the food, the language, the people, and I'm honored to do my part to shine a light on this crisis. So in addition to commissioning this mural, my office has facilitated a meeting with Congressman Stanton and a group of Iranian Americans to request federal government action on this issue. And right now we have seen the MASA Act in Congress getting more for support. But today's mural, I think, is a perfect example of how Iranians and our allies are using unconventional ways like art to spread information and, most importantly, spread hope. So thank you again. With that, I want to invite up a special young woman. Her name is Zainab Tashi, and she is a student at Arizona State University who can speak from personal experience about what young people in Iran endure daily. Thank you.
Well, I'm not that much excellent at these things, but I'm Zainab and I'm a PhD student at ASU. It's been 2 years that I'm living in the US. And as an Iranian girl, I have had to endure the forced imposition of the hijab since I was 7 years old when I started going to school. And at that age I couldn't comprehend the implication of mandatory hijab.
Just make sure to speak in.
Oh, okay. But as I grew older, I started realizing that I had no choice in this matter, as with many of other aspects of my personal and social life. As a woman, I was expected to obey, and the decisions about my life were made for me and not by me. This stems from the Islamic Republic's laws, where in many areas of our life, including marriage, divorce, education, employment, and civil rights, Iranian women are either restricted or need permissions from their husbands or parental guardians, which deprives them from their dignity. And if we do not confirm, we are as seen as second-class citizen, as everybody, I guess, who lived in Iran would understand. Growing up, I was often told that I could not do these things because I was a girl. And it was so hard. The Islamic Republic seeks to undermine women in any way it can. And as a result, my aspirations for my future had to constantly adapt to these limitations. I vividly recall that the fear and stress I expected every day because of the morality police when I wanted to go out. I remember once I went for a picnic, a simple picnic with my friends in Tehran, and they arrested 2 of my friends because not wearing long enough dress, not covering the whole body. And when I spoke up, they just told me to be quiet or I could face being arrested. Or when I was a college student, wherever I wanted to go to school, the university security inspected my outfit and appearance every day before letting me inside. And there were several times that they forced me to get back home and change my outfit, which was super ridiculous. And I also recall being arrested when I was 19, and I was out with my boyfriend just walking in the streets. I think here it's so normal. You're walking with your boyfriend when you're 19. And both of us were super humiliated by morality police, and they called us and yelled us super humiliating words that it was really traumatized us, I guess. And I'm not the only one with such stories, memories, or miseries. I'm just an Iranian woman that shares the same story with all other Iranian women. And I have the chance today to tell you my story while the rest of them are being silenced by Islamic Republic. Many innocent people in Iran are being arrested every day on the streets by the morality police. And there are reports of individuals being violently beaten. You may have heard about the tragic case of Mahsa Jina Amini, a young Iranian girl who lost her life at the hands of the morality police for not adhering to their strict dress code. Unfortunately, her story is not unique. The Islamic Republic has taken lives of many young people who have courageously challenged the regime. Brave political prisoners and activists in Iran are on hunger strikes and are facing execution, life sentences, or more than 10 years of prison simply because of protesting or posting their ideas on the social medias, and showing the world that how cruel and inhuman nature of the Islamic regime. These brave activists are in detention centers where they are under mental and physical torture, sexual assaults, and abuse. And I'm here today to be their voice and show, to be the woman's voice, my voice, and all Iranian voice, to appreciate your effort, to raise awareness and show your support and be their voice too. Every Iranian knows that the world hurt them, and I think now is the time to take action to end this misogynistic dictatorship and give Iranian women the right and freedom they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. That is the end of our program today. Just want to thank Zainab again for sharing her story, and thank you again, all of you, for taking the time to be here today. As was said, the uprising in Iran is being led by these young Iranians who are not giving up, by brave women and teenage girls, supported by men and women across the country and across the world. So I invite you today to stay. We have some food, we're gonna have some music, but please take some time to learn about this. And to everyone who's not Iranian, I just really want to give a special thank you to you all for being here. I know, this seems like something that's far away, distant, but what I have heard, and I think many Iranians have heard from friends back in the country, from folks in the diaspora, is that it really does mean a lot to show support. So thank you again for everyone. Thank you to the mayor, Representative Longden. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
One other thing.
Oh,
One
okay.
other thing for you. Yeah. What is that? Yeah, it's right here. It's not scary.
She's scared. We have a gift as a thank you to Vice Mayor Ansari for making all of this happen. This mural may not be here one day, but her efforts will make a difference. Thank you.